silver and black, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, we're set for a good NFC matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. To the NFL on EA Sports. With me as always, Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
We go from Las Vegas. A fairly short kick from the 14. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Charger offense makes its way out for the first time in this ball game, and leading the way, already a star in just his third season, it's Justin Herbert.
It hasn't taken Herbert long to earn the status of one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. He's locked and loaded on every snap. And the second he sees it open, the ball's soaring downfield. You've got to be on your A game at all times against him. The second you slip up, he's liable to burn you.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Herbert to throw right away. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
I think that typically we expect teams to save their home run plays for later in the game when they feel like they have an advantage over a defense. But in this case, they thought they had the advantage right away and took the shot on the first play of the game and completed it successfully.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. His first pass attempt of the game, Charles, and the pass rush was right there to hit him. But no fear, he delivered an accurate ball. Nice catch.
And you never want to see your quarterback getting hit, but it also sends a message to the rest of the team when he's able to take that shot and still deliver downfield. Showed a little toughness, and the team rallies around him. This could really help them on their drive.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
The Carr's throw pulled in by Renfro. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the Pro Bowl, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Off the edge and right to the ball that time was Kyle Van Noy.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Carr. Quickly a slant to Renfro. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Surprised at all that they went with a fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive, give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up first downs. That's what we just saw right there.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this
first quarter. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a third down coming up. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening two drives.
Yeah, it feels like two boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on rips like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's got some space here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Chandler Jones drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
J.K. Scott ready to punt it away.
Hunter Renfrow deep to return for the Raiders.
This will be fielded at the 17. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now it's Bolden. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
On the draw, Bolden. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now they'll throw with Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A Raider 1st down, Carter Renfro.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here.
A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use...
And he's in! Touchdown, Raiders!
Josh Jacobs. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Raiders will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. The Chargers going to take over now late in this 1st half. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the 1st half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was waving as hard as wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. On 1st down, Justin Herbert. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body.
Picked up by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take over here up near the 40.
That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now after the INT, it's Carr.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
Now a draw play. This is Bolden. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are out in the field and they're only thinking one thing: get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Carr. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
To throw, it's Carr. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis.
And the Chargers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away? It could cost them a ball game.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half.
So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top.
As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Chargers in that first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did, and that should set them up well for the second half to come. Both teams making their final adjustments before we get started once again. And for the call of the second half, let's send you back out to Allegiant Stadium and Brandon Goddard.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Complete here to the right to Bolden. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
To throw again on second down. Carr. Caught out right by Renfro. Finding room at midfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 35.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 39, Carr. And it's complete to Adams. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now Carr. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Now a look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads you into bigger errors.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Carr now to throw. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Bolden. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
For this 3rd quarter of action, you are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Here's a handoff to Jacobs, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. To throw his Carr. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
They'll try and run with a fullback, Johnson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
And
Yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Jacobs will score. Touchdown, Raiders. And that is what you call lowering the boom down near the goal line. He was going to force his way in no matter what.
I always talk about one man wins when it comes to the offensive line, having the leverage to move the defenders. It's strong man wins when it comes to tackling in the red zone. And if you happen to be the low man and the strong man, that's a huge win.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. A 10-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. L.A. set to take over again on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Herbert now. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And the Raiders have got him.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The fourth down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 73 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, Parker, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On second down, Jacobs. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Here's Carr to throw. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Raiders have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
The Raiders heading out to take over. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column. Stood up with confidence and made it happen for a victory.